Hello and welcome to the Cat Collective. I'm Nina, I'm the channel for this channel. And let's start. If you find a word, it's yours. A worry card. Twice, okay? Patience, indecision, and originality. Okay. Feel lighthearted and free while trusting that your unique way of doing things is the right way. Decide not to make a decision at this time. This will be a constructive, valid, and useful decision. Okay? I'm feeling a little bit. And creativity takes time, and sometimes a project can seem to be taking too long or seem to be failing. Okay. I feel the indecision card is significant in a way, but also so I feel that your indecision is maybe you think you need to go a certain way and you need to decide what path to take, and I feel that you have a lot of options and all those options seem somewhat intriguing, or you kind of want to do all of them, but I feel that in this point you don't need to decide anything, any path, just do everything. Just do everything and see what sticks. Just to follow your impulses in a way of, oh, today I want to do this and tomorrow I want to do that, and do everything. Just do everything. Don't decide on a path. Sometimes, we think that to achieve mastery in a certain area, maybe, or hobby, it could be that you want to, I don't know, anything. Just, I feel that you have a ton of options, and you feel the need to make a decision between some of them. But what if you don't have to decide anything? You can just go ahead and follow everything. Just do everything. Why would you restrict yourself? It's just, I think that's creativity. Creativity, you can restrict creativity as soon as it gets into a routine, right? It could be, a very first project of something that was interesting for you to explore, can turn into a very boring and not creative routine if you stick with it for too long. And then you need to explore some other things just to keep your creativity going. And maybe you are just feeling in a rut or stuck or something like that because you are not exploring other things because you think you need to stick with one thing. But why is that? You are, I feel that you are very creative, extraordinarily creative. It's just that you are restricting yourself, and it feels to me that everything that you really want to arrive somewhere creatively, just one thing somehow. It's this, how legends are being created, or legendary people who just have it all figured out. At least that's what the story tells us, right? Those mega successful, I don't know, I don't even want to name a name, people who have achieved something. It could be best examples are musicians, I guess, right? Because hey, they stuck with their instruments and they did it all, all the time, and they've picked this and they went with it. But even this can be too restrictive. And if you look at, for example, David Bowie, he also made art and other things, so it's not that he restricted himself at all. Yes, he was successful, or pointed out for one specific thing, but the other things he also did, right? It's when as you are just a creative being and you need to explore every possible thing that comes into your head, and it can be a totally new hobby. For me, for example, I just started making jewelry because I just felt it. I felt drawn to it and I like it. So yeah, just do something new and don't decide what you want to do. Just do everything. And it doesn't, I feel that sometimes we feel that, I feel that in this day and age, success is above everything. Everybody wants to achieve success. And we need to step back from this. We need to look at a feeling. We need to achieve a certain feeling. That's success. What does it help you if you are successful but miserable? It doesn't help you at all. You need to achieve that's the point of achievement you want to reach. The good feeling points, and those good feelings, they sometimes don't make sense. What makes you happy that sometimes just doesn't make sense, especially monetary wise, or just in general, right? Sometimes it just doesn't make sense, and that makes sense, right? So it just feels that you want to make a decision of what to do, but the point is just do everything. Just do everything. Don't decide. Do everything a little bit, and that's a decision, right? Yeah. And what else did we have? Well, that's the indecision card. It's here. Feel lighthearted and free while trusting that your unique way of doing things is the right way. Yeah, well, that's the point. And most of all, feel lighthearted. You want to have the feeling of this. And patience. Yeah. Sometimes it just makes more fun to explore new things. And if you don't have the patience to stick with it for longer, you also don't need to have it, It's this feeling of, I need to achieve this, I need to work on this for longer, so I can blah, 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 blah. Just blah, do something else. Do what you want. Just go into a freaking, I don't know, hobby store, get yourself whatever supplies and do something differently. Just for yourself. And then you see what it leads to. And if it's not a hobby, if it's something else, like a destination, or do everything. Yeah, there's a way to do everything. Because what you don't want is to restrict yourself. It's what I talked about in that one reading with the lobster. When you want to grow, but you don't know where to grow to sometimes, right? You just want to do everything, then do everything, because that's growth in every direction. One of those cards. Oh, commitment. Yeah, I think that's the issue. Dreams. Oh, yeah. The commitment. Suddenly goes into a relationship thing. I don't think that you should do everything regarding relationships. I mean, there are options out there to do everything in relationships as well. You do you, right? But I feel that this commitment feels too, this commitment of doing something feels a bit too restrictive. Just one thing, I think that's the main belief that wants to be overthought. That commitment needs to be, it's sometimes a commitment can also lead to just losing freedom, like those birds. Because they are holding on to this, they are not free. right? And you want to be free because you're a creative soul, so you need to be free. There's an underlying wish for commitment, though. I think it's a wish of yours that you want to commit to something, and you want to, it's the stability of this commitment and the routine of this is something that you're seeking. And I feel that this indecision is a point that annoys you because you want to commit to something, and maybe you are tired of this. Maybe you are tired of being a creative person, which is strange because there are so many people who look at creative people and they're like, oh, I wish I was creative. I wish I was, whatever. But when you are creative like this, it can get tiring as well because you constantly seek something new. And I feel that you are tired of this and you just want to commit to something that gives you stability and a routine. And something that you don't need to think about, because whenever you start something new, and you always, it requires so much. It's big learning phase and commitment in a way of routine. You don't have to think about it. You don't, because you are just doing it, and it's easy. It's easier, of course. And I feel that there's this struggle of being a creative person and not knowing what to do with it. Totally being lost in this fundamental feeling of wanting to explore something new. But also seeking the stability of commitment. But also knowing that the stability of commitment might bore the shit out of you, right? That's the struggle of a creative person. Dignified in strength. Debilitated discomfort. And messages. And Leo and shine. Yeah, somehow it's a struggle. If you look at the light and the dark in the message card, it's a struggle of light and dark. It's the struggle of knowing that you have a gift of being creative or being, someone who seeks adventure, someone who doesn't want to commit to anything in a way, but also someone who really craves stability and commitment and routine and how does this fit? This just doesn't fit, does it? It just doesn't fit together somehow, and that's a struggle. That's a real struggle, I think. That's the discomfort in this. And if you look at it, those are those two stairways going there. And strangest thing is that this is your strength as well. Or maybe you feel that going there, going towards one thing is a strength. For you, it certainly is, because you have to tame your creativity into one thing, right? Then that's strength, but it's also too restricting. And I think at this point, you just... I find it interesting that, of course, the way it came up is both... it just shows, right? The number 13 and 14 from 4 to 5, which means change again. But it also means that if you look at this is one way, and those are two ways. I find it very interesting that this comes up like that. Because it's the same. In Mary, if you know, it's like zooming out and seeing more. And there are so many other stairways also in this card. It's just, trying to find a way of combining it all to make one thing, and one thing, well, that's your name, right? It's you. You can define what you are drawn to by just saying your name, right? Of course. But I feel that this is somehow not satisfying for you, because it is just it feels to me that you want to have one thing that is just, your significant thing, but you have everything, and that's too much, even for yourself. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because I think other people would like to have this problem. Some people are just sitting there. I wish I could do something, and you're like doing everything, but you're suffering. Oh my god. Yeah, well. Messages. Butterfly. Okay. And tiger. Butterfly. Well, butterfly has got a very interesting life if you think about it. You wouldn't think of a caterpillar as, the foundation for a butterfly. If you look at it like that, right? So even a butterfly doesn't commit to just one form. I think this is the encouragement that you are having, right? That you should get. It's like, don't restrict yourself, and don't even think that you really want this. Maybe it's just, yes, I think you will find a way. Maybe you will find a way just by receiving a message. Maybe I feel that there's someone in your life who, sometimes we need to see it from a bigger way. Maybe creatively you cannot commit, but maybe you are seeking for commitment in a person, right? A person that understands this. Not everybody understands, because often we get judged for wanting to do several things and having a lot of ideas and inspirations and wanting to explore several different topics. But I think what you need is probably a person, or are people who are understanding of this and not judgmental, not like, what are you doing again? Something new again. Like, you didn't follow through with the last thing, right? Because it's supposedly to lead. It has to lead us somewhere, right? It has to lead us somewhere, like financially or something, as soon as we start something. But maybe it was just for the sake of exploration, right? And the understanding of only creative people can understand this. And I feel that everybody underlying has got a creativity, especially the people who say they don't have it. It's just they don't allow themselves to explore it, right? And I feel that you are further developed. I feel that you are doing this, but it leads you to so many other things. And it feels to me that it's just this ongoing fight of wanting to do all of it, but feeling that you need to do just one thing. And it's wrong. It's a wrong perception. It's just, as I said, even butterflies don't commit to one form during their lifetime. So there's a big inspiration in this, I think, right? Night vision. Spirituality is a big thing, isn't it? Change again. And crystal vision, so a lot of visionary cards. Yeah, that's a, that's a stamp I can put on your forehead. That is encouraging, I think. Being a visionary, someone who is not afraid of change or just explores things for the sake of exploring. An explorer. I feel that there's a lot of good energy coming your way spiritually. From a way, a lot of good change. It feels, I wanted to say finally. It takes a while to find a way to adjust your vision to the night. And I feel that this, what I was describing, or this whole struggle of not knowing where to go, what to do with all of what you have. It feels that there's this vision that has adjusted to everything. And yeah, it's the adjustment from not seeing the way to seeing the way, and then something on top of it with the diamond. And the diamond has so many different colors, right? Yeah, like a rainbow. And that's what you are accepting about yourself, that you are seeking change, and that you are very colorful, and that to be able to be happy, you need to commit to change. And this commitment is something that you maybe didn't have on your plate because you wanted to commit to stability, whereas you need to commit to change, and that's your stability. Right? Easy. That's easy. It is. But it's also not, right? Who would say change is easy? Caterpillar certainly doesn't say that, right? Powerful, okay. May you be as potent as the ocean. Very interesting image, I think, if you look at how turbulent this is and how dark, right? And that's maybe what you're also consisting of. You are consisting of the ocean, and you have the connection to it. It's as if you go to the ocean and the ocean recognizes you for part of being an old friend of the ocean. Not just a friend, a part of it. The ocean knows you. And the ocean cannot be tamed. Most of the time the ocean appears to be tamed, right? But here and there we can just see how it's not possible. Because if the ocean was to decide to create a tsunami, the ocean would. Courageous. May each breaking wave build your courage. It says it all, doesn't it? Yeah, it's the breaking a part of yourself and not being afraid to do so. Yeah, all the stones want to say something as well, I feel. With the crystal visions, vision, because those are crystals, right? And they want to encourage you to be just who you are without trying to understand or restrict yourself. It's okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it all up. I hope it's helpful. It's just, I feel melancholic somehow with this powerful, but yeah, reflect on your priorities. Yeah, that's what you're doing, right? And I feel your priorities are just, you need to prioritize your feelings. And when you are wanting to explore certain topics, new things, just do it and don't restrict yourself. And yeah, may not make sense for most of people, because not everybody has got a creative urge like this. But for you, it makes sense. So you just do it. Honor your feelings. Duh. Duh. Right? I feel that your priorities are accepting change and accepting that you are seeking this all the time. And that's okay. That's your stability. Yay, Cancer. Yeah, additional info is in the little box below, and see you next time. Bye bye, bye bye.